Hello everyone. So this is Ancient and Medieval India Notes for UPSC Prelims, and this is session 2. So we already had one session on Ancient and Medieval India. So this is session 2, and what we will do now, we'll start with discussing. We'll start this session with the discussion of UPSC PYQ of 2016. There are certain questions, and we'll also see some 2015 questions. So first of all, this question number 50. Hope all of you can see it. So this question is about Bodhisattva. Question number 50. I'm talking about right now. This particular question. So they're talking about the religious history of India and the concept of Bodhisattva. See, there are two factions, two major factions after Fourth Buddhist Council, Mahayana and Hinayana. Mahayana and Hinayana. Mahayana, greater vehicle, and Hinayana, lesser vehicle. And it is also said that why would Hinayana tell themselves lesser vehicle? So maybe this greater vehicle and lesser vehicle were the terms which were used by Mahayana people. So concept of Bodhisattva, this is concept, what do you say, pivotal to Mahayana sect. This is a major aspect of Mahayana sect. And Mahayana also started using idol worship of Buddha, which was, and Hinayana generally represented Buddha in symbolic forms. So these are the basic differences between Mahayana and Hinayana. Bodhisattva is the major feature of Mahayana, not Hinayana sect. So that means first option gone. So you're left with B and C, 50% probability. So what does Bodhisattva means? Bodhisattva means they are those enlightened ones who will not themselves achieve salvation. First of all, they will achieve other people or other sentient beings to, they will achieve others to, what do you say, gain salvation, and then they will, what do you say, try to attain their own salvation. So they are a compassionate one on his way to enlightenment, but before their own enlightenment and their own salvation, they will achieve other human beings to achieve salvation or nirvana. So basic funda is, so third statement is correct. If third is correct, so second has to be correct. So the option is, or the answer is B, 50B. Upinder Singh is a very good book, but again, if you don't have history option, you don't need to read that deep into detail about Bodhisattva. Basic feature, Mahayana, it is a component of Mahayana teaching. Apart from idol worship of Buddha, Mahayana also involved in Bodhisattva philosophy. Hinayana involved, or putting say, believed in symbolic worship. Mahayana means greater vehicle, Hinayana means lesser vehicles. So these are the basic components. So question number 50, our answer is B. Let's check from official answer key. So if we check from official answer key also, question number 50 answer is B. So it's fine. Now let's move on. So this was one question, and what was the other? And what were the other important ancient questions? So Araghatta is a medieval India question. Water wheel used in irrigation of land. That we will discuss later on. Question number 89 we'll discuss right now. So see, with reference to the cultural history of India, the memorizing of chronicles, dynastic histories, and epic tales was the profession of which of the following? So if you go to our notes, so as you can see here, I have written here in this particular part, memorizing. This is UPSC 2016, and in UPSC 2016, this particular question was asked. So memorizing of chronicles, dynastic history, and epic tales was a profession of Magadha. It's not similar as Magadha, which was one of the 16 Mahajanpadas. It is Magadha. So it was a profession of Magadha. So they were involved in these, what do you say, retailing of dynastic histories and epic tales. So the answer of this particular question is Magadha. That is 89th answer should be D. They are involved in memorizing of chronicles, dynastic histories, and epic tales. So if we see the answer, 89, the answer will be D, right? 89, the answer is D. Hope you can see it here. Cool, dude. What else? What else should we do? So let's move on. This one done. There's one more important question actually of ancient India, precisely. Okay. So question number, yeah, Iripatti, Taniyur, and Ghatikas. So this was the question number 80. So what you have to understand is, again, Ghatikas is very famous. Ghatikas are colleges generally attached to temples. So we know it, and generally you know it. If you read about ancient India, you will know about Ghatikas. And from like early medieval India, from 750 AD, or you can say after, let's say after 900 AD, you will start hearing mentions of Ghatikas. If you went to Satish Chandra, you will realize that Ghatika is colleges generally attached to temples. So third is correct. Third is correct means this is gone. So you're left with B, C, and D. Now, Taniyus, and when you will read about Chola administration, you will read about they had villages, they had Nadu, then they had Valanadu, Then they had different other versions. So this Taniur, they were very big villages, and they were not donated. They were not agraharas. When you will read about land grants of Cholas, na, you will read about these agraharas. So they were not agraharas. They were very large villages. So second is wrong. So if second is wrong, so you're left with only B and D. Iripatti is fine. Iripatti you generally will not find anywhere. It's a very unique term. So the thing is here you have to go with like you have to play, right? You know third is correct. First is also correct. So the answer is D only. That is Iripatti is land revenue from which was set apart for maintenance of village tank. So the answer is D for 80. Let's check that. So let's clear all these things. 80 is D. Hope you can see it here. 80 is D. If I go to my notes, see, again in 2016, this was asked. Iripatti is land revenue from which was set apart for maintenance of village tank. What are Ghatikas? They are colleges attached to temples. Now, if you want to see Ghatikas, you can also see Ghatikas. So they are colleges. And generally what happened, the temples in ancient medieval India or in early medieval India, they were the major center around which everything revolved. So towns used to get, what do you say, created around the temples. Different businesses used to be set up around the temples. So educational institutions were also no exception. And all those means major, what do you say, some of the educational institutions which were getting set up around the temples, they were called Ghatikas. So yes, so as you can see here, this particular institution or this particular thing, this is an ancient education institution associated with the temple. So they were called Ghatikas. Okay, what else? So we have talked about, and we also need to talk about Taniyos. So yeah, this is the Ghatika. This is an ancient educational institution associated with a temple. Ghatika. Remember it. Ghatika, ancient educational temple institution associated with a temple. What is Taniyur? Taniyur, we have seen they were very large villages. Large village, big enough to be Kurram by itself. Again, it is a unit of Chola administration. So number of Kurrams constituted Valanadu. Valanadu also constituted number of Nadus. Several Valanadus made up one Mandalam, which was a province. So again, they were not given to as a land grant. They were not Agraharas. Agraharas were generally the land grants. So Taniyur, it's a large village. Okay, man. So now let's move on. So that is what we have written here. Iripatti, land revenue from which was set apart from maintenance of village tanks. It was for a specific purpose. The Ghatikas, colleges attached to temples. Tanyu, large village under Cholas. What else? So Buddhist council we have already discussed in the previous lesson or previous lecture, first session. So now let's talk about this particular question, which was repeated 2 years in UPSC PYQ. What were the kingdoms which were associated with the life of Buddha? Buddha was born in Sakya clan. It is on Himalayan foothills, right? Sakya clan. And Kaushal and Magadha, if you see other options, I will just show you that particular question. So this was the question. Which of the following kingdoms, question number 39, hope you can see it, were associated with the life of Buddha? Avanti, Gandhara, Kaushala, Magadha. Now, if I show you a diagram, if I show you all the 16 Mahajanpadas, you will realize that Gandhara is very far, far away. So let's close Tanyo. Let's see all the Mahajanpadas. So you will see Gandhara is very far away. So the options mentioned these: Magadha, Kaushala, Shakya is here. See, Shakya is very near to Kaushal. Avanti is here. And then Gandhara. It's not like they had motorcycles or TVS Bajaj and all the scooters and Buddha will go here. No. So Gandhara is gone. Avanti is also gone. The answer is Kaushal and Magadha. These were the two Mahajanpadas which were associated with Buddha. So let's go back to that particular question again. So which of the following kingdoms are associated with the life of the Buddha? So the answer is Kaushal and Magadha. The answer is D for this particular question. Gandhara is wrong. So this will be gone. This will be gone. And Avanti is also not the answer. So 3 and 4, Kaushal and Magadha. Remember it. Who knows? UPSC can ask it for the third time. You can never say anything about UPSC. Okay, so that's what I have written here. Kingdoms associated with the life of Buddha, Kaushal and Magadha. Now let's talk about Digambar and Swetambar sects of Jainas. So these are the two major sects of Jainas. And remember one thing, it's not like there are only two classifications like Mahayana and Hinayana. There's so many classifications, Sarvasti, Vadin, and all those things. So you have to remember it because UPSC has a very high tendency of asking these sects and all those things. So we'll talk about it in subsequent sessions. But right now let's focus on Digambar and Swetambar sect. So Swetambar, Swet means white. So that means these people wear white clothes. Digamba, they don't believe in any, what do you say, border between them and the in gods. So they don't wear anything. Now, apart from that, that is fine. That we generally know. Let's talk about some things which we don't know. Digambar believed that Mahavira never married. So Digambar sect people, the general belief is Mahavira never married. But Shwetambar people believe that he married Kshatriya woman, which is actually the basic thing, which we also know. Digambar says, or Digambar sect believes that women cannot achieve liberation in general. But Shwetambar, and they have to change their, they have to go to take another birth, born as men, and then they will achieve liberation. Shwetambar disagrees with that. Shwetambar also says that all agamas, this is the basic religious scripture of Jainas, they were lost during the famine, in which the division of Jainas into Shwetambar and Digambar happened. So the story is something like this. There was a huge famine in North India. So some of the Jainas shifted to southern India, right? Shravanbel, Gola, and all those are very important Jaina centers. And during this particular famine, the agamas or the religious books were lost. This is a belief of Digambar. But Shwetambar believes that majority of these agamas survived. So Shwetambar and Digambar, you should be knowing the basic attributes of Shwetambar and Digambars. That will help. So what we should do? Let's keep until here only, and in the subsequent lectures, we'll talk more about all these things. In the next lecture, I will make, what do you say, another session on modern India, and we'll follow that particular sequence. Okay, man. So stay blessed, keep on studying hard, and stay inside. Bye bye.